So hello again, everyone. Thank you for the presentation, Santiago. My goal today is present this CoFMPy library that we've developed, and it's a Python framework that's could be used for accelerating digital twin prototyping. So I'm doing so in the behalf of my colleagues that are listed there below. I will start by telling you a little bit about the context. So this is part, it was developed, CoFMPy was developed as part of the Hecate project. It's a European project funded by Clean Aviation, and it's all about designing a hybrid electric regional aircraft distribution technologies. So such system is usually composed of different level of distribution for different level of power. So here we're looking at the very high voltages of very high powers, and the second distribution is for lower, still high and medium, but lower voltages in power. The upper part here we find the energy sources for the propulsion, because we have an electric engine for the plane, for the aircraft, batteries and fuel cells. And then you find other loads on lower distribution systems. And the goal here, the final output is a demonstrator of 500 kilowatts hybrid electric architecture that will be embedded in the Copperbird. So it's an integration bench. So it's a large integration bench. And here you can see it's the size of a room, and you can include different modular power electronics or mechanical thermal components. So in this project, there are many challenges. So challenges more linked to the high power, high voltage, coming from electric arcs or electromagnetic interference. We have also some issues, or let's say some interest into power in thermal management. And what's interested us today is more about, we have many use cases for digital twins, covering the whole chain from design to operation. So I know you're already familiar with the digital twin requirements, but I would like just to point out 4 of them for Hecate. The first one is multi-domain co-simulation. You're aware of it, but for Hecate, we have a very heterogeneous system. We have different disciplines, thermal, mechanical, power, etc. The second one is bidirectional data flow. So as I showed you, this Copperbird, the integration bins, we were able to access it to actual measurements, and it's able to communicate with what would be the digital twin part, so the suburb part. Modularity and AI interoperability. This is a very important point, because we're in a setup where solutions should be evolutive. We are trying different, let's say, tools or possibilities, and we need this flexibility and integration. And finally, of course, analysis and decision making. So in the ecosystem of digital twin tools, I roughly categorize them as industrial and in the research oriented. Industrial ones are more oriented to standards, to completeness, to optimization. And the research one are more bricks developed a little bit by on the shelf that you can get and use. And the focus is more on fast iterations. So for CoFMPy, we have the following motivations. So in this ecosystem, we were looking for an all-in-one environment for fast prototyping. That is not to have the complexity of integrate and manage the interoperability between different tools. The second one, to have this environment equipped with core features, so already implemented. You don't have to do it yourself, but you can also get with the possibility to extend this framework with other tools that you customized by yourself, or that you can use other tools that are existing in this well-developed ecosystem. And finally, again, the seamless AI integration, and we'll discuss more about that later. So the point here is just to share with you the experience that we had in this project, the code that we developed, and hopefully to get your feedback on that. So in a glance, this tool is an open source one, fully developed in Python, which makes it platform independent. It supports FMI, so you can run FMUs inside of it with this consistent interface. We have a modular design. This is what I was saying earlier. You can either use the built-in implementation inside of CoFMPy, or go look for third parties to do co-simulation, communication, analysis, etc. And finally, you can directly integrate AI models or native Python functions while still being FMI compliant. This was specifically a good selling point for us. I'm not going to go into the details of the architecture. This is very high-level view of it. And the thing to get from this figure is that we have many services provided by this framework that gravitate around this central unit, the coordinator. So it plays the role of an orchestrator. Everything goes through this unit, from the master for co-simulation, the bridge between the digital twin and the outside world, the storage for results analysis, etc. So because everything is in the paper, I'm just gonna flash some of the key features and tell you what's interesting about them. So this coordinator, the central figure, we wanted to make it as simple as possible. So instead of writing long and complex code, you describe everything in one configuration file, formatted as a JSON. So in this configuration file, you can define your FMUs, you can define your connection, the logic of your orchestration, communication, etc., which make the coordinators code very short and clean. So as you can see in this code snippet, we just need 4 lines to instantiate a digital twin and write. And this is made possible by using this default backend or built-in backend I was talking about earlier, which is optimized for fast iteration. Of course, if you're introducing an outside third-party tool, then there will be a little bit more work. So this is, I think, pretty familiar for you. Co-simulation master, this is the built-in one. It relies on FMPy, so the support of FMI comes from that library. We implement the classical approaches for co-simulation, Jacobian, Gauss-Seidel, and we support also a iterative resolution of algebraic loops. So through rollback, we have also a consistent initialization by solving fixed point problems, etc. The next key feature is what we call the FMU proxy. So Edward, you already came up with that name when we were discussing. So it does exactly what it should tell by reading this. So it acts like an FMU, but it runs a native Python code. So this is interesting because out there is a massive ecosystem of Python-coded AI libraries, PyTorch, TensorFlow, and all the backend from Hugging Face, etc. And you can use those without the need to package it as an FMU, while still being compliant with FMI. So one good point about that, other than being interoperable with all these libraries, is to benefit from the hardware acceleration. So when you train your model or when you deploy it, you run it on GPU, which in my knowledge you cannot do once you export it as a FIM. You tell me if you know about the solution. So here the thing is that with CoFMPy, you can run these FMU proxies with the real FMUs. You can co-simulate, you can do whatever FMU is capable of. And if you have the need to export it later, you can use the many frameworks to the tools to do it, Unite FMU or Python FMU, etc. Okay, I think this is the last key feature I wanted to present about communication. So here we wanted to have, so we proposed an abstract class um, to connect the outside world with the simulation part of the digital twin. And we have built instances of this abstract class to instantiate some specific technologies. So by default, you can use Kafka to communicate. You can actually load some results file formatted as a CSV. But in general, in a, let's say, more advanced usage, you can use your own customized uh, protocol or communication technology, and it's made easier actually by this abstract class that you need to subclass. Okay, so before I wrap up, I just wanted to come back to this starting point where I talked about many use cases of digital twins in AI. So here's one of them. This is the simplest that we tackled, and it's about monitoring the state of health of a battery that is in an aircraft by using AI correction model. So I'll explain very quickly the problem if I have the time. So the scenario is this one. We have a battery model. So inside the digital twin, and it is used to estimate the state of health of a battery. So we have a physical model running behind. And as you can see in this figure, in blue, this is the simulated state of health, so by the battery model that is given. In which we can see, because of a bad calibration, so that was the cause in this case, there's a drift between the real state of health of our battery and the one that is simulated in the digital twin. And the idea here is to solve some, like, formally, this is an inverse problem coupled with discrepancy modeling, but the point here is to have a better estimate the state of health by using the telemetry coming from the real battery. So we use observable variables like the voltage, the current, the state of charge to correct the state of health that cannot be observed or measured. And the workflow that was made easier by CoFMPy is this one. So first we gotta train the model, but before that we have to produce the data consistently with what we want to do. And here we have to define our operational design domain, the design of experiment that will contain different configuration. And this is streamlined by the coordinator. So this is made very easy and you don't have to change any part of the code to do so. So once you have the design of experiment, you need to train different machine learning candidates from possibly different frameworks with different approaches to solve the problem. And we do this offline on telemetry data that were saved from a run of this digital twin without correction. And then we plug the model wrapped in this FMU proxy back into the digital twin. And this is very important for us for validation or inference, but we have to do a benchmark to see with respect to different KPIs, which model is the best. So it could be the runtime, it could be the performance, the accuracy, and so we have a list of metrics for that. And I put next to each sentence here of the workflow the parts or the component activated in CoFMPy about that. Okay, so I will conclude with some key takeaways. So CoFMPy is an open source Python framework, and the Python part is very interesting for this AI interoperability with a consistent support of FMI. It's an all-in-one environment that boosts actually the simplicity for rapid prototyping. It's flexible, modular, extensible to other third-party tools. So if you have the need to use, for example, Maestro from E2CPS or Simulator, as long as there are Python bindings to this library, you can use them with CoFMPy. And finally, you can couple your AI models with physics models seamlessly without exporting them to FMUs first, and then you can export it afterwards, of course, if it's needed. And actually, we're still working on that actively to develop first a graphical user interface for result analysis. We are trying to improve the orchestration, many things to improve actually. So we're working hardly on that. And very, very, very important point is the documentation. We had some troubles with some libraries, so we want to make it as low barrier to entry as possible for people like us that are not from the field. So we're working on a lot of tutorials to make it usable even by outsiders. Thank you very much. That's the end of the presentation. And I'm open to questions if you